I caught them planning to destroy my son's wedding. But I had 50 witnesses and 8 recording devices waiting. Subscribe if you believe in stories like this, and tell us your city in the comments below. I wasn't supposed to hear it. Standing in the kitchen of my sister Denise's house, I'd only come back inside to grab my phone charger. That's when I heard my ex-wife Patricia's voice cutting through the afternoon air like a blade. Marcus thinks he's getting married next Saturday. Over my dead body. I froze behind the partially closed door leading to the sunroom. My heart hammered against my ribs as I recognized the other voices. My brother Leonard, my cousin Sheila, and Patricia's new husband, Dennis. The boy disrespected his mama, Leonard said, ice clinking in his glass. Choosing that girl over family? He needs to learn. I pulled out my phone with trembling hands and hit record. My son Marcus, 26 years old, brilliant, kind, he'd done nothing but fall in love with Jasmine, a woman who happened to come from a different background. Patricia had made it her personal mission to destroy their relationship for 2 years. I've got the health inspector ready, Sheila's voice dripped with satisfaction. One anonymous call about the venue's kitchen, and they'll shut it down the morning of the wedding. And I've contacted Marcus's boss, Dennis added. Sent him those edited photos from college. Should get him fired by Wednesday. My blood turned to ice water. These weren't idle threats. These were coordinated attacks against my son's happiness, his career, his future. Patricia laughed, that cold, calculating sound I'd heard too many times during our marriage. He'll come crawling back, begging forgiveness. Then maybe I'll consider attending his next wedding to someone I approve of. I backed away slowly, my phone still recording, mind already racing through possibilities. I sat in my car outside Denise's house for 20 minutes, listening to the recording 3 times. Each word felt like a punch. But this wasn't new. Patricia's need for control had poisoned our family for years. I drove home to my apartment, memories flooding back unbidden. 13 years ago, when Marcus was 13, Patricia had orchestrated the destruction of his friendship with his best friend Devon. Devon's family had been going through hard times, and Patricia couldn't stand that her son associated with poverty. She'd planted stolen items in Devon's backpack during a sleepover, then called the police. Devon's family moved away in shame. Marcus cried for weeks. I'd suspected Patricia, but had no proof. That incident broke something in our marriage. By the time Marcus turned 15, I'd filed for divorce. Patricia fought viciously, trying to get full custody. She told the judge I was unstable, produced witnesses, her family members, who lied about my character. But Marcus, brave even then, told the truth. Joint custody was granted, though Patricia had primary residence. The years that followed were a battlefield. Every graduation, every achievement, every birthday became an opportunity for Patricia to manipulate and control. She'd promise Marcus things, then withdraw them if he didn't meet her impossible standards. She tracked his college applications, interfered with his scholarship opportunities, and criticized every girl he dated. When Marcus met Jasmine 2 years ago at a community center where both volunteered, I saw my son truly happy for the first time in years. Jasmine was a pediatric nurse, compassionate, educated, funny. She came from a working-class family, first-generation college graduate. Patricia couldn't stand it. She's not good enough, Patricia had said at Christmas dinner 18 months ago. She's using him. Marcus had finally stood up to her. Mom, I love her. Either respect her or lose me. Patricia chose war. Sunday morning, I called my lawyer, Raymond Booker. We'd kept in touch since the divorce, occasionally meeting for basketball. Raymond had seen Patricia's tactics firsthand. Ray, I need to see you. Emergency. It's about Marcus. 2 hours later, I sat in his home office, playing the recording. Raymond's expression darkened with each passing second. When it ended, he leaned back, fingers steepled. Malcolm, this is conspiracy to commit multiple crimes. Fraud, defamation, potentially interference with a business relationship. The health inspector angle could be bribery or filing a false report. Can we stop them? My voice cracked slightly. The wedding's Saturday. 6 days away. We can do better than stop them, Raymond said slowly. We can let them execute their plan, with modifications. He pulled out a legal pad. First, I need you to trust me. Second, we need to bring Marcus and Jasmine in on this immediately. Third, we need allies, people Patricia's burned over the years who'd love to see justice. What are you thinking? Raymond smiled grimly. Patricia's always needed an audience for her cruelty. Let's give her one she doesn't expect. How many people are invited to this wedding? 150. Perfect. Here's what we're going to do. For the next hour, Raymond outlined a plan so audacious, so perfectly calibrated to Patricia's psychology, that I felt hope for the first time since overhearing that conversation. One question, I said finally. Is this legal? Everything I'm proposing is completely legal, Raymond assured me. We're simply documenting crimes as they occur and ensuring witnesses are present. Patricia's digging her own grave. We're just providing the shovel. I took a deep breath. Let's do it. That evening, I drove to Marcus and Jasmine's apartment in downtown Atlanta. My hands gripped the steering wheel so tightly my knuckles were white. How do you tell your son his mother is plotting to destroy the happiest day of his life? Marcus answered the door, concern immediate on his face. Dad? What's wrong? Jasmine appeared behind him, beautiful in casual clothes, her nurse's scrubs visible through the bedroom doorway. She'd just gotten off a double shift. We need to talk. Both of you. It's serious. 10 minutes later, they'd heard the recording. Jasmine's hand covered her mouth, tears streaming down her face. Marcus's expression shifted from shock to hurt to something harder, more determined. She's really going to destroy our wedding? Ruin my career? She's going to try, I said carefully. But Raymond and I have a plan. It requires your cooperation, your trust, and your acting skills. Tell us everything, Marcus said quietly. His jaw was set in that way that reminded me of myself at his age, when I'd finally decided to leave Patricia. I explained Raymond's strategy. The recording devices we'd plant at the venue. The witnesses we'd recruit, people Patricia had wronged over the years. The fake vulnerability we'd project to make Patricia confident. Most importantly, the moment of revelation we'd orchestrate. You want us to let her think she's winning? Jasmine asked incredulously. Until the moment she can't, I confirmed. Patricia's greatest weakness is her need to gloat. She won't just sabotage, she'll want credit. She'll want Marcus to know she did this. Marcus looked at Jasmine. Some silent communication passed between them. Finally, Jasmine nodded. I'm in. But Malcolm, she turned to me, I need to know everyone's safe. My family doesn't deserve to be collateral damage. Your family will be protected, I promised. In fact, they're going to be heroes in this story. Monday morning began our recruitment phase. Raymond had compiled a list, Patricia's victims over the years. First stop, Brenda Collins, Marcus's former piano teacher. Patricia had publicly accused Brenda of inappropriate conduct with students 7 years ago when Brenda gave Marcus an A instead of an A. The accusation was investigated and dismissed, but Brenda lost half her students. Brenda opened her door, wariness in her eyes. When I explained why I'd come, played the recording, her expression transformed. I'll testify. I'll stand on that altar if you need me to. That woman destroyed my reputation because of one grade. Next was Trevor Washington, my former business partner. Patricia had spread rumors during our divorce that Trevor was embezzling, costing him clients. Trevor, now successful again, listened to my plan with growing satisfaction. I've got resources, Malcolm. Security cameras, audio equipment. Whatever you need. By Monday evening, we had 12 committed allies. Each had a story. Each had scars from Patricia's cruelty. Raymond was right. Patricia had burned too many bridges. Tuesday brought more recruits. Carmen Rodriguez, who Patricia had reported to immigration. Carmen was a legal citizen, but the investigation was humiliating. Pastor Michael Green, whose church Patricia had sued over a parking lot dispute. Natalie Kim, Marcus's high school girlfriend whose family Patricia had harassed with noise complaints until they moved. By Wednesday morning, we had 27 people ready to serve as witnesses. But Raymond wanted more. We need people at the venue who Patricia doesn't know, people she can't intimidate or dismiss. That's when Jasmine made her suggestion. My hospital. We have colleagues who've dealt with people like Patricia, people who've seen families torn apart by toxic manipulation. Let me make some calls. By Wednesday evening, we had 43 confirmed witnesses. The net was tightening. Thursday morning, Trevor arrived at the wedding venue, the Riverside Estate, an elegant historic property with gardens overlooking the Chattahoochee River. The venue manager, Alicia Drummond, had already been briefed and was fully cooperative. Patricia had been rude to her during the initial booking, calling her just staff. How many devices do we need? Trevor asked, surveying the main hall. 8 recording devices, Raymond specified. Audio and video. We need coverage of every angle, entrance, main hall, kitchen area, bridal suite, and outdoor spaces. Everything admissible in court. Trevor unpacked equipment that looked like decorative elements, a clock with a hidden camera, speakers with recording capabilities, even a flower arrangement with a miniature lens. Military grade, he explained. My security company uses these for corporate espionage cases. Alicia helped identify optimal positions. Patricia's coming tomorrow for a final walkthrough, she said. She called yesterday, very insistent. Didn't realize Marcus had already handled everything. Perfect, Raymond said. That's when we'll capture her in action. I watched them work, feeling like I was in a spy movie. But this wasn't entertainment. This was my son's life, his future, his happiness. Patricia had wielded power through manipulation and lies for too long. Evidence, documentation, witnesses, these would be our weapons. By Thursday afternoon, the venue was wired. Marcus and Jasmine stopped by, both nervous. This feels surreal, Marcus admitted. Like we're setting a trap for my own mother. She set the trap, I reminded him gently. We're just making sure it's visible. Jasmine squeezed his hand. My parents arrive tomorrow from Savannah. They don't know any of this yet. We'll brief them tomorrow morning, Raymond assured her. They deserve to understand what they're walking into. Thursday evening, I returned home and called Patricia. My hands shook as I dialed. Patricia. It's Malcolm. Listen, Marcus is really stressed about the wedding. I think he'd appreciate if you reached out, maybe offered to help with last-minute details. Her voice was syrupy sweet. Of course, Malcolm. I'm his mother. I'll call him right now. I hung up, feeling dirty. But the trap was set. Friday morning, Marcus called his mother. I listened on speaker phone from his apartment. Jasmine beside him, Raymond taking notes. Mom, Dad said you might help with some last-minute wedding stuff. I'm honestly overwhelmed. Patricia's voice oozed false sympathy. Baby, of course. What do you need? You know Mama's always here for you. The venue manager seems disorganized, Marcus lied smoothly. Could you do a walkthrough today? Make sure everything's right? I trust your eye for detail. Absolutely. I'll head over this afternoon. Don't you worry about a thing. After hanging up, Marcus looked physically ill. I hate lying to her. You're not lying about the important stuff, Jasmine said softly. You're protecting us from someone who wants to hurt us. At 2 o'clock, my phone buzzed. Trevor, watching remotely, she's here. Brought Leonard and Sheila. We'd positioned ourselves at a coffee shop 3 blocks away, laptops open to the live feeds. Patricia swept into the Riverside Estate like she owned it, Leonard and Sheila flanking her. Alicia greeted them professionally. I'm here to inspect for my son's wedding, Patricia announced imperiously. I have concerns about your standards. Of course, Mrs. Thornton. Please look around. For 30 minutes, Patricia nitpicked everything while Leonard and Sheila made notes. Then she stepped into the kitchen area, away from Alicia, and pulled out her phone. Yes, this is Patricia Thornton. I'd like to file a health code complaint about the Riverside estate. We had it. Clear video and audio of her making the false report. Raymond pumped his fist silently. That's conspiracy to file a false governmental report. Criminal offense. But Patricia wasn't done. In the main hall, she quietly pocketed several decorative items, expensive crystal votives Jasmine had chosen. Theft, captured on 3 separate cameras. She's actually stealing. Jasmine breathed, horrified. The best, or worst, came last. Patricia gathered Leonard and Sheila outside, thinking they were out of range. But Trevor's directional microphone captured every word. Monday morning, Dennis sends those photos to Marcus's boss. Tuesday, the health inspector shuts this place down. I've paid him $2,000. Wednesday, Marcus gets fired. By Thursday, he'll be broken. Friday evening brought Jasmine's family from Savannah, her parents, Robert and Diane Carter, and her younger brother, Anthony. They arrived at Marcus and Jasmine's apartment, tired from the drive but excited. That excitement evaporated as we explained the situation. Robert Carter was a retired postal worker, a man who'd worked 2 jobs to put Jasmine through nursing school. His face hardened as he listened to the recording. She's trying to destroy my daughter's wedding because we're not rich enough. Because she can't control Marcus anymore, I corrected gently. Your family's done nothing wrong. Patricia can't tolerate happiness she doesn't orchestrate. Diane held Jasmine, both women crying softly. Anthony, 22 and fresh out of college, looked ready to fight. What do we do? How do we stop her? Raymond explained the plan. Tomorrow, the wedding would proceed normally. Patricia and her conspirators would arrive, expecting chaos, a shut-down venue, a distraught groom, maybe even police. Instead, they'd walk into a fully functional wedding with every guest aware of what they'd attempted. At the appropriate moment, Raymond continued, we'll present the evidence publicly. Not just to humiliate, but to establish a permanent record. Patricia's been escaping consequences through manipulation for years. Tomorrow, that ends. What if she gets violent? Diane asked worriedly. What if she tries to hurt someone? We'll have security, Trevor assured her. Off-duty police officers I've hired. They'll be in plain clothes, positioned throughout the venue. If Patricia or anyone else gets physical, they'll be arrested immediately. Robert looked at me carefully. Malcolm, you were married to this woman. You sure you want to do this? She's still Marcus's mother. She stopped being a mother when she put her pride above her son's happiness, I said quietly. I've watched Patricia hurt him for years. I'm done watching. Tomorrow, we fight back. Saturday morning arrived with crystalline sunshine. I woke at 5:30, nervous energy preventing sleep. My phone showed messages from various witnesses confirming attendance. Trevor reported all equipment functional. Raymond sent final instructions. At 7, I picked up my suit from the cleaners. At 8, I drove to the Riverside estate. The day of reckoning had arrived. The Riverside estate buzzed with controlled chaos. Florists arranged centerpieces. Caterers prepped the kitchen under Alicia's watchful eye. Marcus stood in the groom's suite, hands shaking as he adjusted his bow tie. I helped him, remembering my own wedding day, ironically, also to Patricia. Dad, what if this backfires? Marcus asked quietly. What if we're wrong about her showing up? She'll show, I said with certainty. Patricia can't resist. She thinks she's won. She'll want to see your face when everything falls apart. Jasmine was in the bridal suite with her mother and bridesmaids. Through the door, I heard laughter mixed with nervous chatter. She was remarkable, facing potential humiliation, yet still finding joy in the moment. By 10 o'clock, witnesses began arriving. Not just our recruited allies, but regular guests unaware of the drama. Pastor Michael Green would officiate, another small victory, as Patricia had tried to prevent his involvement. Carmen Rodriguez positioned herself near the entrance with her husband. Trevor's security team dispersed throughout the venue, earpieces barely visible. At 10:30, Raymond pulled me aside. Malcolm, I need you to understand something. What happens today will permanently damage your relationship with your ex-wife and possibly other family members. Are you prepared for that? I thought about Marcus at 13, crying over his lost friendship. Marcus at 16, apologizing for his mother's behavior. Marcus at 21, choosing to live with me full-time despite Patricia's guilt trips. I've been preparing for this for 13 years, Ray. Let's end it. 11 o'clock. Guests filled the seats. The chamber quartet played softly. Everything appeared perfect, normal, celebratory. Only 50 people in attendance knew what was really happening, that we were all waiting for 4 specific people to arrive. 11:15. My phone buzzed. Trevor, Spotted, Patricia, Leonard, Sheila, and Dennis just pulled into the parking lot. They looked confused. I moved to a window. Sure enough, Patricia stood beside her Mercedes, staring at the venue with visible bewilderment. The lot was full. Music played. Nothing was shut down. I watched her pull out her phone, undoubtedly calling the health inspector she'd bribed. She's realizing something went wrong, I murmured to Raymond. Give her 5 minutes, he replied. She'll come inside anyway. Curiosity and arrogance won't let her stay away. 11:20. Patricia strode through the entrance with Leonard, Sheila, and Dennis trailing behind. Her expression was a mixture of confusion and barely contained rage. Alicia greeted them professionally. Good morning. Welcome to Marcus and Jasmine's wedding. Your seats are. What is this? Patricia interrupted sharply. This venue should be closed. Several nearby guests turned to stare. Alicia maintained her composure beautifully. I'm sorry, I don't understand. Everything's proceeding as scheduled. Would you like me to show you to your seats? Patricia's eyes swept the room, landing on faces she recognized. Brenda Collins, Trevor Washington, Carmen Rodriguez. People she'd wronged. Her confusion deepened into suspicion. What are all these people doing here? They're guests, Alicia said simply. If you'd like to take your seats, the ceremony begins in 20 minutes. Patricia grabbed Alicia's arm roughly. Listen to me carefully. This wedding shouldn't be happening. Where's Marcus? I need to speak with my son immediately. Please remove your hand, Alicia said firmly. One of Trevor's security officers moved subtly closer. Patricia released her but turned to scan the room again. That's when she saw me. Our eyes locked across the space. I saw the exact moment she understood. Her face went pale, then flushed deep red. She began moving toward me, Leonard following protectively. Malcolm, she hissed, voice low but venomous. What have you done? I haven't done anything, Patricia, I replied calmly, aware of multiple recording devices capturing this interaction. I'm attending my son's wedding. You should take your seat. Where's Marcus? I know something's wrong. The health inspector was supposed to. She stopped abruptly, realizing her mistake. The health inspector was supposed to what? Raymond appeared beside me, legal pad in hand. Please, finish that sentence. Patricia recognized Raymond, and her expression turned calculating. This is a setup. You're trying to trap me. We're simply attending a wedding, Raymond said mildly. Though I'm curious about your comment regarding a health inspector. Do you have information about a code violation? Sheila grabbed Patricia's arm. Don't say anything else. Let's just leave. But Patricia's pride wouldn't allow retreat. I'm not leaving until I speak with my son. Marcus. Her shout carried across the venue. Conversations stopped. All eyes turned toward the confrontation. Marcus emerged from the groom's suite, resplendent in his tuxedo. He walked slowly toward his mother, and I saw the emotional war on his face. Love, disappointment, anger, sadness, all battling for dominance. Jasmine appeared from the opposite side, her wedding dress stunning, but her expression was fierce and protective. Mom, Marcus said quietly. You came. Of course I came, Patricia said, recovering some composure. Baby, we need to talk privately. There's something you should know about. About how you tried to have this venue shut down. Marcus interrupted. About how Dennis sent fabricated photos to my boss. About how you've been planning to destroy my wedding and my career. The room went absolutely silent. Patricia's face cycled through shock, denial, and then something uglier, defiance. You're being ridiculous. I'm your mother. I want what's best for you, and this girl is going to be my wife, Marcus said firmly. And you tried to sabotage us. I tried to save you. Patricia's voice rose. From making the biggest mistake of your life. She's not good enough for you, Marcus. She comes from nothing. Her family has nothing. You deserve better. Diane Carter stood up from her seat. Excuse me. My daughter graduated top of her nursing class. She saves children's lives every day. What exactly makes her not good enough? Patricia whirled on her. Stay out of this. This is between me and my son. No, Marcus said, voice breaking slightly. It's between you and everyone you've hurt. Mom. Devon's family. Miss Brenda. Trevor. Carmen. All the people whose lives you've destroyed because they didn't meet your standards or do exactly what you wanted. Leonard stepped forward. Boy, don't you dare talk to your mother that way. Uncle Leonard, you helped her, Marcus said. I heard the recording. You all planned this together. Recording. Patricia's voice went shrill. You recorded us? That's illegal. That's... Actually, Raymond interjected smoothly. Recording conversations in which illegal activity is being planned is perfectly legal in Georgia. One-party consent state. And Malcolm was present at your planning session, making him that party. Patricia's face contorted with rage. You. She turned on me. You've poisoned him against me. Just like you did during the divorce. I never had to poison anyone, Patricia, I said, finding my voice steady despite my racing heart. You did that yourself. 13 years of manipulation. 13 years of putting your control above his happiness. Raymond stepped forward, holding a tablet. Before this ceremony proceeds, I believe everyone should understand exactly what happened. With Marcus and Jasmine's permission, I'm going to play some recordings. The screens set up for the ceremony, meant to show photos of the couple, suddenly displayed security footage from Patricia's Thursday venue visit. The room watched in stunned silence as Patricia made the false health department complaint, pocketed crystal votives, and outside, laid out her complete plan to destroy Marcus's career and wedding. Patricia's voice from the recording filled the room. By Thursday, he'll be broken. Then maybe he'll come crawling back and choose someone worthy. When the footage ended, the silence was deafening. Then someone started to clap. Carmen Rodriguez, standing slowly, applauding. Others joined, Brenda, Trevor, Pastor Green, and then regular guests who just watched a mother plot to destroy her son's happiness. Patricia looked around wildly, her carefully constructed social facade crumbling. You can't do this. This is my family. Marcus, baby, please. I want you to leave, Marcus said. His voice was calm but final. You, Leonard, Sheila, and Dennis. Leave now, or I'll have security escort you out. You don't mean that, Patricia said, tears starting. I'm your mother. You can't throw me out of your wedding. You threw yourself out, Jasmine spoke for the first time, her voice clear and strong. When you decided your pride was more important than Marcus's happiness. When you tried to destroy people who'd done nothing but love and support him. Dennis made a move toward Marcus, but Trevor's security team immediately surrounded them. I think it's time for you to go, one officer said quietly but firmly. Patricia's tears turned to rage. Fine. Fine. You want to choose this nobody over your own family? You're dead to me, Marcus. You hear me? Dead. Then I'm free, Marcus said softly. Finally free. Leonard, Sheila, and Dennis practically dragged Patricia toward the exit. She screamed the whole way, hurling insults and threats. But with each step they took toward the door, Marcus seemed to stand taller, breathe easier. When the door finally closed behind them, The entire venue erupted in applause. Marcus turned to Jasmine, and she took his hands. Both were crying, but they were smiling too. Pastor Green moved to the altar. "Well," he said with gentle humor, "that was quite the prelude. Should we have a wedding now?" The ceremony was beautiful. Marcus and Jasmine exchanged vows they'd written themselves, speaking about choosing love over toxicity, building family with people who truly cared, and refusing to let bitterness corrupt their joy. There wasn't a dry eye in the venue. At the reception, the mood was celebratory but also something deeper, cathartic. People who'd been hurt by Patricia's cruelty found themselves sharing stories, supporting each other, healing together. Robert Carter pulled me aside, gripping my hand firmly. "Thank you for protecting my daughter. And for raising a good man." "Thank you for raising an incredible woman," I replied. As the evening wore on, Raymond pulled me aside with news. The health inspector Patricia tried to bribe has been suspended pending investigation. He's cooperating fully to avoid criminal charges. Dennis's employer received our evidence package regarding the fabricated photos. Dennis was terminated this afternoon. And I filed civil complaints on behalf of several witnesses for Patricia's past actions. "What about criminal charges?" I asked. "The district attorney's office is reviewing. Filing a false governmental report, attempted bribery, theft, conspiracy. It's not looking good for Patricia. Even if she avoids jail time, she's facing serious probation and restitution." I watched Marcus and Jasmine on the dance floor, lost in each other, genuinely happy. Good. She needs to understand actions have consequences. 3 months later, life had settled into a new normal. Marcus and Jasmine bought a small house in Decatur. Patricia was convicted of filing false reports and placed on probation with mandatory counseling. Leonard and Sheila were named co-conspirators but received lighter sentences. Dennis never recovered professionally. Marcus and I met for breakfast one Saturday morning. "Dad, I need to tell you something. Jasmine's pregnant." Joy flooded through me. "That's incredible." "I haven't told Mom," Marcus said quietly. "I don't know if I ever will." "Is that wrong?" I thought carefully before answering. "You get to decide who's in your life, son. Who gets access to your family, your joy. Patricia made her choices. You're making yours." "I feel guilty sometimes," Marcus admitted. "But then I remember what she tried to do, and I realize I'm not punishing her. I'm protecting my family." "That's wisdom," I said. "Hard-earned, painful wisdom." As we paid the check, Marcus's phone buzzed. A photo from Jasmine, an ultrasound. We looked at it together, 2 men who'd survived toxic love, now building something healthier, stronger. "We're naming him Devon," Marcus said softly. "After my friend. The one Mom destroyed." I gripped his shoulder, unable to speak past the lump in my throat. Some people never change. But the ones they hurt can heal, can build new families from chosen bonds rather than blood obligation. Patricia taught us that through her cruelty. We learned it through our survival. And that's the truest lesson of all. If you believe parents should support their children's happiness instead of sabotaging it, hit that subscribe button. Only toxic manipulators and family destroyers won't. Comment "I choose love over control" if you're nothing like Patricia. Let me know in the comments, have you ever had to cut off a toxic family member to protect your peace? And if you can't stand people who destroy others' happiness out of spite, smash that like button, because Patricia and people like her need to know their behavior is unacceptable.